Hello, my name is Jorge Palacio and I'm applying to the position, the vacancy opened in the as a junior architect in the Heatherwick studio. It is a studio based in London, a very recent studio, and it was formed by three very known architects that I admire very much. They're very young and they have a high capability.
Good morning, it's a pleasure to meet you. Did you have a good journey? Did you find our office easily?
Good morning, yes, it was a very pleasant walk. I actually took a detour to see your cold drop start project on the way here, and it's a fantastic example of your studio.
I'm glad you took the time to see it. Let's start with the basics. Tell us something about yourself. Why do you want to be an architect?
I've always been kind of a maker. Before I studied architecture, I spent a lot of time in workshops, experimenting with wood and metal, for example. I want to be an architect because I believe our buildings should be as interesting and texture as the natural world. I don't want just to build boxes, I want to build experiences for people.
Well, that fits our philosophy. What specifically attracted you to Heatherwick Studio over a more traditional firm?
Well, I'm attracted to your curiosity. Most firms have a signature style they repeat, but Heatherwick treats every project as a unique problem to solve, whether it's a chair or a skyscraper.
Okay, let's look at your portfolio. Which project are you most proud of?
I would say the project I'm most proud of is the responsive pavilion project. I wanted to see if I could make a facade that felt like fabric, even though it was made of timber. The most difficult bit was the joinery, but I eventually developed a custom hinge system.
Very impressive. What kind of computer programs did you use in the modeling?
I use Rhino and Grasshopper for the parametric geometry, but I always verify my digital work with physical models.
Okay. True. Very impressive. Now a more personal question. How would you like your colleagues to describe you?
I think they would say I'm a relentless researcher. If a detail isn't working, I won't stop until I find a way to fix it. However, they might say also I spend too much time on the small details, which is something I'm learning to balance with my project timelines.
Okay, that leads into my next question. I'm going to ask you to tell me about your weaknesses.
I would say my main weakness is to organizing myself for problems that are not as serious as I think. So I believe being in a studio with a lot of people that know what this academic responsibility is, I think would make me like a perfect designer.
Okay, I'm going to ask you now, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Well, I hope to be a senior designer here, leading our team through the technical delivery of a major public space, for example.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a final question. How much do you want to earn?
Based on my research of junior architect roles at the top-tier London design studios and the specific technical skills I could bring to the studio, I would say between a range of 8,000 or 16,000, but however, I'm not really interested in money. I'm interested in the experience and the mentorship.
Okay, I'm going to give you kind of a situation question now. Imagine an engineer tells you that a specific material you've chosen for a curved wall is too expensive and will delay the project. How would you handle it?
Well, first, I wouldn't fight the engineer. I'd collaborate with him. And I would go back to the workshop and see if we could achieve the same visual effect using a different fabrication method or a cheaper material that reacts to a light in a similar way.
All right, good answer. Are you applying for any other practices as well?
Yes, I'm looking at a few other design-led firms, but Heatherwick is my priority because you focus on human scale architecture, and it's exactly what I'm looking for.
Well, that's all from my side. Do you have any questions you would like to ask us?
Yes, thank you, I do. First, who would I be working with? Is the studio organized into fixed teams, or is it more a fluid collaboration, individual? How do you work?
Well, we work in fluid, multidisciplinary teams, and it depends kind of the project we're working.
Okay, then what defines success at this position?
We value curiosity as our main metric for success.
Okay. Where do we go from here? Where are the next steps? What are the next steps in our selection process?
Well, our coordinator will contact you by next Tuesday for next run.
Okay, that sounds perfect. That's all. Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate you getting down here. Have a good day.
Thank you. See you later.